So is it time not to take umbrage in SPH stock price, or is it umbrage? Okay, whatever. Hey guys, welcome to this video, and Joey here, top tier advisor in Phillip Securities and chief trainer at Trading Impossible. So in today's video, alright, we're going to talk about SPH. So SPH have seen prices kind of like tanking down by more than 10% just about 1 or 2 weeks back when they announced the restructuring news. So what happens is very quickly they want to actually restructure their business and demerge the company, the property business and the media business, and kind of like hive off the whole entire business to a new entity. So it can be seen like a good thing, of course, due to the uncertainty, prices kind of tanked down by more than 10%. But what happens is over the past 1 week plus, we started to see a bit of action coming back. So in today's video, we'll dive into the charts of SPH and see whether is there a need to take umbrage in it, or could there be a sign of a reversal starting to happen, and how could you potentially position yourself to ride any uptrend or reversal, if any. Alright, so do stick around all the way to the end of this video if you want to find more about SPH and where can we potentially head to, and that's what we will cover. We'll even dive into the system that I have to see what it says and if there are any new bullish signals that have came out over the past 1 to 2 weeks. Let's go. So this was SPH just on the 11th of May, just last week, after we see prices kind of like tanking down and started to consolidate. So we managed to see a bit of support coming in at about 150, and there were some upside targets that were drawn on a potential break above that 160, 165 level, all the way here with a potential target about 11% upside to that 180. So that was just last week. So we were kind of like seeing a bit of resistance at 160, and seems like sellers were pretty much there to kind of defend that level, right? So this was just last week. So let's take a look at where we are right now, and if we actually manage to break that $1.60 resistance level. Okay, so this is SPH right here, trading at about $1.73 right here. Today is the 20th of May. Alright, Thursday 20th of May is 10:52 a.m. The market is open live and it's currently about $1.73. So I mentioned that just last week on the 11th of May, right over here, we were still capped below that 160. So it was like consolidating from like 150 to 160. You can see up, down, and each time it pushes to 160, sellers came back and pushed it back down. So it was pretty much consolidating for about 3 to 4 days at that 10 cents range. But what happened was, over the past few days, we managed to see some really good bullish actions coming back that can potentially lead to the reversal just beginning to happen. So we managed to break that 160, and we kind of closed at about $1.67 just about 2 days back on a Tuesday on the 18th of May. That would be a good sign. So we have kind of like revised our targets a bit higher. Let me just go ahead to draw some upside rebound targets. I would say anything above that 165 to maybe that 170 level would be kind of like a good support level, which can land more upside to it, alright, with it rebounding all the way back to 180 and maybe towards that 190. So 165, 170. In fact, 170 would be a psychological support today. It seems like we are kind of like breaking that 170 resistance level right here. You can see we're kind of like breaking this 170. It's 173 right now. If we do hold above that 170 today, that would be an added confirmation that the uptrend can potentially start to continue in terms of the mid to long term trend. So that would be the support level. So this is a red line, was the resistance. Let me just turn it to green in color right here. So 165 to 170, that would be the new support level for SPH, which can see us kind of rebounding back to the highs that we've seen, $190, $2. That was pretty much where we were in like April before the restructuring news came out, right? So yeah, when restructuring news came out just about 2 weeks back, of course the market started to sell off because of uncertainty. But I think people are kind of like digesting the news, and it could be a good thing for SPH to kind of like hive off their media business to a new entity, because the media business has not been doing well, and ad revenue has been declining year after year, and it's just not a good business to be in. But now with it kind of like taken away from the property business, right? It's like kind of like a new entity, all right? And this can provide a lot of growth opportunities going forward with the media business out of the way, all right? Something like Sembcorp Industry and Sembcorp Marine, all right? We have like Sembcorp Marine, kind of like the oil and gas business being like taken away as well, all right? So that is pretty much how SPH kind of like restructuring can kind of help in terms of the longer term and with the media business no longer part of it. All right, so let's take a look at the system. So I basically have a system called the 1GT system, the one good trend, that pretty much kind of like we did have like a couple of bullish entry and exit signals as well over the past 1 to 2 months, and in fact before it kind of like tanked down, just before the restructuring news, we did have an exit signal. So let's take a look at what it says again from the system, and if there could potentially be a bit more upside. Okay, so this is SPH on my 1GT, alright, one good trend system that I have that kind of like, alerted me to this counter a few months back, and we did have like a couple of bullish entry and exit signals as well. So let's take a look at the system to see what it says. I'll not go too far, but somewhere around right over here, somewhere in January, alright, January of this year, we did have like bullish signals started to push up, we got an exit, and around the 15th of February, just right here, we got a bullish signal started to push up from like 120 all the way to about 135, we got an exit, and more importantly, right here, I think this was a really good signal that was alerted to us on the 24th of March. Look at this right here, 24th of March, just before the rally really started for SPH. You can see we kind of broke that 140, right, went all the way up to around that $192, and we got an exit, right? So this was it right here, right? 24th of March, we got a bullish entry signal, and then we got an exit, and of course, you can also think about taking profit as you approach at $2, and that was actually where our upside targets was drawn to that $2 psychological level. So you can also protect profits and you can take profit near that $2 level as well. But the fact is, we did had an exit signal right here, and about 2 weeks later, pump, all right, the news came out, and that was where we kind of tanked down by more than 10 to 12%, all right, and this is where we are right now. So just last night, all right, just last night, you can see right over here, we pretty much have like a new 1GT bullish signal. You can see this is like a green arrow pointing. Again, this is pretty much like where we had it in 24th March, and this is where we had it last night on the 19th of May. So there's a green arrow pointing up, 1GT bullish signal. And yes, I mean, this is a signal, so we'll probably wait to see over the next few days if it can play out. And I say we did break above that 170, all right, so this signal might be playing out as we are seeing it right now. Today's the 20th of May, all right, and we might be seeing it playing out, especially if we were to hold above that 170 new support level, right? So yes, we did had like a bullish signal right here, and I'll be looking to see how it plays out, or we might start to push to like, that 180, 190, maybe that $2 level, and we might potentially see an exit signal as well. So yes, I'll be looking to see what it says on the system, right? So yes, guys, if you like this video, go ahead to give me an early thumbs up, and do go ahead to subscribe to the channel as well if you've not done so that you will not miss out on any videos like this. So I hope you like this video and you have kind of like a clearer picture on how SPH is playing out, and we'll kind of see if we can potentially hit to that 190 to $2 level. So I wanted to cover in terms of the trend as well. Back to the chart, you can see that in terms of the longer term trend, I mentioned that somewhere around March, I think in the previous video, I mentioned that there were some signs of a good arc trend starting to form up in terms of the mid to long term. And why? Look at this, right? The red line, this is the 100 days moving average, have kind of like crossed above the blue line, and both of these red and blue line are pretty much pointing up for now. All right, of course, in the short term, we did see some profit taking when the news came out, as I say, but in the long term, the mid to long term trend still looks okay, and prices are still pretty much holding above these two red lines, the 100 days moving average and the 200 days moving average blue line. So mid to long term trend, it is still okay, all right. And support wise, if you're looking at the longer term support, probably about 150, that was where it kind of dipped below, and buyers started to come back up. So that would be the support right here, about 150 to maybe that 140 level. Okay, and yeah, so look at this, right? The red line, in terms of the red line, all this while, right, since like 2019, even before the current situation we are seeing right now, this red line has crossed below the blue line. So pretty much in a downtrend since 2018, you can see down, 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 and right here, this 100 days moving average has managed to see a bullish crossover above the 200 days moving. So it could be a good move that the mid to long term trend has changed. And now with this news, I think remains to be seen. I think if we can hold above that 170 slowly, that would be a good signal, all right, to kind of see the reversal back out. It might consolidate, and then the uptrend can potentially start to even continue further if we were to break that $2 level, right? So this is SPH right here. So yes, if you don't find a bit more on how we do it, or how we kind of like use a system to guide us, and more probably how to gain access to a system like this, yeah, you can probably attend one of those free web class that I'm currently still running. All right, I'll probably put a link around this video. Go ahead to check it out. Register for this free live web class if you're not yet done so. All right, and I look forward to share with you a bit more on the framework behind the system and how we actually get in and out of the stock that are put out. All right, so Joey here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.